Hello, good afternoon everyone. My name is Anirudh and I'm joining you today from my house to make a very interesting recipe for you guys. How are you doing? Good evening. We'll just wait for some time, some more people to join in now. First of all, I would like to tell you, please be safe. Please be at home. This is a very stressful situation we're going all through. We'll pass very soon. We'll pass on this. But till that time, please be safe. So more and more people are joining in and we'll just start in a while. So first of all, I would like to thank Easy Diner to give me the opportunity to come on live today, streaming live today from my house, making a very interesting recipe. Since we are at home and there's as much as we can do to keep ourselves busy, it would be very nice that we try and do easy recipes which are interesting and also very healthy. My personal belief is my philosophy of food is making very healthy and very minimalistic cooking. Cooking is very minimalistic in its own way, and all the ingredients should be the heroes of the recipe and they should speak for themselves. So today we are gonna make a recipe with beetroots. Beetroots is very seasonal. It's all summers. We know, we all know why beetroots are very healthy. It gives us great immunity. It is, it's very good for our hemoglobin, for our blood levels. It reduces hypertension. It is good for our heart, and so on and so forth. It's good for kids. It's good for the eyesight. So we all know what kind of nutritionist value that beetroot has. And if we can do some beetroot interesting ways, there's nothing like that. And the whole inspiration for this comes from my whole career, which is about 20 years. I spent in kitchens and I've traveled a lot, and my food philosophy is getting the best and the best of the mixing of the ingredients, get the best flavors out, touching all the finesse of the recipes, textures, flavors, spices all together. So here we'll start the recipe now. I will show the ingredients. Beetroot is the hero. So I've taken roughly about 400 to 450 grams of beetroots, and I've boiled the beetroots and peeled the beetroots and then just grated them a little more coarser. Just make sure that we don't throw any part of the beetroot. So even the peels of the beetroots I've kept, and I will show you later throughout the recipe that how we utilize those beetroot peels as well. This recipe has 3 parts to it. So first I'm going to make a beetroot kebab. After the kebabs, I'm going to make a beetroot tabbouleh, which is again an inspiration from a Lebanese, Mediterranean, Moroccan, Turkish cuisine. And how interesting we can do a tabbouleh at home. What are the finesse of the tabbouleh? What are the things that we should keep in mind to make a tabbouleh? And how healthy it is, and what is the best options or what substitutes to make a tabbouleh at home. So you got a beetroot here, which is already parboiled, grated fine. I'm going to use some mashed potatoes. It's just plain mashed potatoes, roughly about 3 mashed potatoes. And you can also skip potatoes if somebody doesn't want to have potato. But to give a binding to the kebab, either we could use a roasted chana dal powder. Since I did not have a roasted chana dal powder, I'm using the mashed potatoes here. Now this is a very interesting goodie box that I have. Very nice. There's lentil sprouts, moong dal sprouts, very healthy. And I'm using green onions. I'm using very seasonal spring onions, top to the bottom, chop the green part, chop the white part. This is my spice mix I've already made myself. This is cumin. Cumin is very good for summers. The whole benefits of it is it keeps your body calm and cool. So we have cumin, we have fenugreek, we have fennel seeds into it, and I've put a couple of whole black peppercorns and then roasted it well and then crushed it. Roughly you can see it's not very pounded fine. Use some chopped ginger and chopped chilies as much as you want to use in your kebabs because of the spice levels. Then I have, this is very fine powdered cornflakes. Now I use cornflakes because I did not have breadcrumbs at my home. If you want to use breadcrumbs, you're most welcome to use breadcrumbs. And then I've used cornflakes. This is just rough pounded cornflakes. This was the powdered cornflake. This is rough pounded cornflakes. This is gonna go inside the kebab to give it a nice crunch. So that's my favorite goodie tray because it is all healthy stuff in it. Plus there is regular stuff that I have. I got some masalas here, got some salt, got some chilies or paprika you can say, got some freshly crushed black pepper, got some very seasonal, very fresh green mint. This is gonna be used everywhere. And then of course we can't do any kebabs without fresh coriander. And then little tiny bit of a chaat masala. So that's this recipe, the first part. I'm gonna show you the tray for the first part, and then I'll show the setup for the second part of the recipe. The first part of the recipe, you all start now. I'll just use a pan here. So the idea is to make the mix of the kebabs here, take the mix out, let it cool down a little bit, and I'll show you step by step what we do with the mix. In the meantime, I've just these are the bean sprouts which I showed you. This goes as the stuffing to the kebab, inside the kebab. So what I'm gonna do now here is just to season a little bit, I'm gonna add the pounded coriander and the pounded cumin, chilies as much as you wish to add, red chilies to it, just a tiny bit of salt, and then just keep the mix ready. Okay, the pan is hot. Let's start the cooking now. Just have some oil on the pan, just a dash of oil. So guys, again, I'm just for everybody's information, this recipe is also a vegan recipe. Now vegetarian, I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm personally is a firm believer of vegetarian cuisine, and by choice I'm a vegetarian. And this recipe is one step ahead. It is vegan. Veganism is a trend these days. It is good to be vegan. You feel light, you don't feel bloated, and it's good for mankind. So I will show this recipe as a vegan option, and also if you want to twist it a little bit, you can add whatever you wish to add into it. Okay, so once the pan is hot, I'm gonna add some ginger and some chilies to the pan. Just crackle a little bit. Here goes the hero, the beef. Make sure you don't overcook them. Put potatoes to it. I love the color of the beetroots. It's amazing. And it looks so appetizing. It looks so yummy. Just need to mix these potatoes well into it. I'll add some more potatoes. We'll add the pounded cumin and the fennel seeds into it. Very refreshing. And I'm going to add the chopped green onions to it. You saw I didn't saute the onions intentionally because I wanted the crunch, the freshness of the onions to be inside the kebabs. So as I mentioned, I believe my recipes should have all the mix of a great recipe. So ingredients for sure, then comes a texture, then comes a flavor, then comes a spice. So now, once the beets are a little more mixed with the potatoes, and it's a little dry because it has a lot of moisture to it, just keep on cooking it for some more while. I'm gonna add some fresh mint. Here goes the mint. Some spice, red chili powder. Don't want to miss the salt. Mix it well. You can see how appetizing it is. You can cook it more a little bit. I'll add some more potatoes. I'm adding slowly because I want the potatoes to be mixed well with the beets. Almost cooked now. Smells so nice. It's done now. We'll switch it on a low fire. It's time for the cornflakes to go in. You can see the cornflakes. This will give a lot of crunch to the kebabs. Yeah, it's done. We'll take a bowl and take the mix off and let it cool for some time. So that's the first part of the recipe. The mix is all ready. It has the beets, potatoes, crunchy onions to it, mint, cornflakes for the crunch, and all the spices, and especially the cumin and the fenugreek and fennel seeds. Now we start the second part of the recipe, which is making a tabbouleh. Now tabbouleh, usually it's made out of bulgur, which is a kind of a broken wheat, and it has a whole lot of mint and huge amount of parsley to it. Now when I do it at home, I don't have a bulgur, so I have to think over it once, and since it's one of my favorite salads and easy eats, it is very healthy. We all know wheat is great, it's healthy, it keeps us, it's fibrous, so it keeps us filled up, and also it is a low calorie. It has high amount of minerals, vitamins, calcium, magnesium, and it's really good for us to have this kind of food. Now I had no options, but I had to use dalia. Now dalia is again a kind of broken wheat. Everyone loves dalia, especially kids, and even I love dalia. So what I thought of was using dalia as a substitute to do a tabbouleh. So I had to, if you cook dalia, it becomes quite lumpy, it becomes quite gooey. So I thought of just soaking dalia for overnight. For example, I am using a dalia which I soaked probably about 10 to 15 hours, 10 to 12 hours before. So I'm going to show how the dalia looks like. Now this is a dalia which I had soaked around about 10 hours before. It's very soft, you can see. You can even mash. You can even, it's just cooked. It's just as good as having it right away. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to show you how the recipe works for me. I have, again, yes, so I have kept some beets which I have chopped and just chopped it like a little bit of, you can say a brunoise or small dices. Now, these are again the crunchy spring onions, very, very seasonal, my personal favorite. Whole lot of chopped parsley. You can use chopped coriander, and I'm going to use chopped mint, chopped coriander, everything into it. I have a basil plant at my home, so I've used a lot of basil leaves to it. To give a twist to this tabbouleh, I've added cucumber to it. So I'm adding chopped cucumber to it. It will make it more summery. It will make it more healthy. It will make it more refreshing. And then lime, and then I'm going to use olive oil and salt, pepper to it. So in the meantime, when the mix is getting cool, now someone was asking how much to use. I have used approximately about 4 mashed potatoes into it, and medium-sized potatoes, roughly about 300 grams of potatoes, and the beets is about 450 grams of beets. Boiled, peeled, grated, kept some on the side for diced beets, and the peels I've still kept it, and I will tell you where to use the peels as well. So we'll start with the tabbouleh now. Take a mixing bowl. I'm going to add the soaked dalia in the mixing bowl. All of it. The diced beets to it. Add lots of spring onions to it. Yes, it is a great food to build up immunity. It is a great option to eat at home. It's very summery. I love it, and it's very, very colorful. I personally love colorful food. Add the parsley to it. Got some fresh coriander going into it. Got some fresh mint. One more thing, whenever I chop these herbs, mint, parsley, coriander, basil, I don't chop it very, very fine, and I would recommend anybody of you to not chop it very, very fine. Keep it, though everybody loves to be the finesse of the food, I personally feel if you chop it very, very fine, it loses all of all the nutritional value, becomes limp, the freshness goes off, the moisture goes off, it becomes very, very limp. Okay, dalia I have used this was about 200 grams of dalia. When you soak it, it becomes, you can see, it becomes a huge big bowl of it. See how rich it is. This is a very, very easy salad. I have added cucumber, probably we can add melon to it. I can have some hard fruits to it, Whatever is easily available, you can just jump into it. You can even add red onions to it. I have added spring onions because I didn't want to throw the spring onions. And the base, the bottom part of the spring onions I've used to it. It's very, very important to use each and every part of whatever vegetables or whatever protein you're using. Now this is done. I'm gonna add some basil leaves. You can see I'm just breaking the leaves. I'm not cutting it. If you don't have parsley, mint will do the magic. Don't worry. I have parsley in my flower pot at home in my balcony, so I've taken some parsley from there. Basil, I have loads and loads of plants of basil. I personally use a lot of basil because of that. Even if you don't have it, whatever best you have to use it. I think it's best, dalia, it's best to use parboiled. If you soak it really, really well, I personally believe just soak it. You don't even need to boil it if you soak it well. Do some extra virgin olive oil. Some salt. Some pepper, black pepper crushed. You can skip it also if you don't want to. You can also add chilies if somebody likes to have spicy bun. You can have green chili chili. It's just our variant of a tabbouleh. Just fold it well. And finally, my best, add a lot of lime. We all know how lime is good and important for summers. Why not? I wanted to make a vegan or veg salad. You can add chicken to it. You can add salamis to it. You can add crispy salamis to it. You can have this with some crispy chorizos. You can slow cook them or bake them in the oven or kind of slow saute them. Why not? For sure. Though this tabbouleh will go fantastically with a grilled fish. I would say if you have a fish eater, if you love to eat fish, I think this is an option of a great accompaniment to that. So guys, how does it look? This is a very, very simple salad. Guys, this is a really great simple salad. It is, great. That's a good thing. A lot of lime is good for coronavirus. Let's kill it. Let's all of us get together and kill this virus. Okay guys, the tabbouleh is also ready. The mix is still a little warm for making a kebab. Let me stir it a little bit so that it gets cool a little more faster. Still very soft. You can see that. Okay. This is done. Great. Dalia can be replaced with couscous. Dalia can be replaced with quinoa. Dalia can be replaced with any kind of millet. If you want to use a millet in, just not couscous. If you want to use a ragi, you want to use a foxtail millet. If you want to use any millet, you can just boil it hard because millet takes a lot of time to cook. You can make it with millets. So it's again, it's your variant. Whatever. I personally feel whatever is available because. And especially nowadays when we can't have the luxury of going berserk on the shopping because the beetroot has boiled because it's all locked up. Whatever is available at home. Dalia was easy. It's always there at my home. So I thought of using the dalia. Now the best part is I'm gonna make, since it's still warm, it's all summers. It takes time to. I'm gonna make the dressing, or you can say I will make a chutney for this kebabs. Now, as you see, I have not used any of the animal products to it. I have not used ghee, I have not used curd, cheese, or a meat. So this is a complete vegan salad. Till now, we have not used anything which is an animal product, which is a really, really healthy thing to have. Now, I'll take you through the dressing, which is a very, very simple dressing. It's just an emulsion dressing, as we all know. Okay. Just 3 things to it. I've got some mustard. We can use any mustard, Dijon, Pommery, or French, English. Any mustard we can use. Or Kasundi. I've used a mustard here. So the peels of the beetroot, I've asked you guys not to throw it. I've taken the peels of the beetroot, boiled it really hard, make it mushy, and blend it. So I got this puree. See, I've got this puree from the beet peels. Great. Now, it's a vegan recipe. Now, just for everybody's knowledge as well, to make a vegan dressing or a vegan sauce, the substitute for cream or a curd could be a nuts. So I have used cashew nuts here. So you can see the texture is just, I'll show you, the texture of this is just like a cream. But this is not a cream. What I've done is I've soaked the cashew nuts overnight and then high speed blended it. But just make sure it is cool enough, otherwise it gets split at times. So see, this is the great texture for cream. So even you can do a cheese pasta with that. It's very though it's too heavy. So I would recommend it to be used in little less quantity. But that's a great substitute for animal cream. Okay. Now I'm gonna make the dressing now. I'll take a mixing bowl. Since it's a emulsion, I'll take a blender. I'll just do the blending. Okay. It's done. Check it's working. Yeah, that's good. So guys, we'll start with the dressing now. We'll take some beet puree. Very simple. Just a cashew cream to it. Crushed pepper. Chaat masala. Salt. Add some olive oil. So guys, this is, oh yeah, it was risky. This is the dressing, or you can say a chutney to go with the beet kebabs. Yeah, sure. We'll have all the quantities shared with you guys. Okay. That's done. We'll just make some kebabs now. We'll add the bean sprouts to it. What I'm gonna do is I'll just crumb this kebab so that the texture is crispy outside with some crushed cornflakes. It's quite soft. If you hold this mixture for a little longer time, it becomes a little hard. Right now it's really soft to make a kebab, but yeah, it's done. See? Of course, your kids will love it. Okay. I'll have one more done and then we'll start cooking them. Great. Let's take one more. Some masala bean sprouts to it. Some more of this kebab mix, like a patties. Again, some of this crushed, or you can use breadcrumbs if you wish to add. It is easy, guys. It is a very, very easy recipe. And yes, I personally love colors to it. Imagine the whole lot of freshness going into this in this tabbouleh kebabs. You have fresh beets. You have the fresh mint. You have coriander. My personal favorite is basil. You have a lot of basil in tabbouleh. Then you have lemon juice. Then you have cucumber. It's really, really summery and nice. Okay, we're done now. And take a pan now. Colors tempts anybody. I think you need to dry a little more, and once it gets cooled, it holds more. And as I told you, I've used mashed potatoes instead of roasted chana dal. Usually, a lot of people would use a roasted chana dal for making this kebab little more firm. But this also will get firmer if it's cooled down a little bit. Right now, it's pretty hot. It's not even easy to touch the mixture. But once it's the powder is, so I've taken cornflakes since I didn't have the breadcrumbs. So I've taken cornflakes and part of the cornflakes I've added to the mixture inside here, and the other part of the cornflake I've blended more further fine, and yeah, it's a powder. So it's just the powder of cornflakes, nothing else. Try with this one first. There it goes. Simmer it a bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plate the kebabs now. Once it gets cooked, you can take a whole lot of this crunchy, fresh tabbouleh here. Flip this a little. Wow. Isn't it amazing, the color? Let it cook a little bit. Air fried, yes. In fact, it's a good option to do air fryer. You can just brush it with olive oil, put it in the air fryer, and it's done. Thank you, Vasudev. Okay, guys, we'll start a little more action on the plating here. Sorry for this mess. That's the kebab. And it's really crispy. I can see it's really crispy since we have used all the dust of corn flour, or the cornflakes, sorry. It's come out to be really crispy. Now goes the second one. So guys, we're gonna make 2 kebabs, plate it, and then one thing we can add here is if you think we need more tang or more spice to it, you can add chilies to it or little lime juice to it. I'm gonna add some mustard also to the sauce. I personally like the flavor of mustard a lot. Just mix it a little bit. Okay, it's done. Let's flip it. Ooh, wow. Guys, that's the second kebab. Okay, done almost. I'll keep this separate, clean a little bit. I don't need this tray now. I need just the chaat masala. I'll keep it separately. Make some space. Yeah. Let the kebab cook slowly. Indeed, it's yummy. So my philosophy is just playing around with ingredients, but for that also you must know each and every ingredient really well, and that comes with a lot of cooking, a lot of spending time with ingredients. You should know the exact flavor. You should know what temperature to cook these ingredients at. The second cup also is ready. You should also know the respect for these ingredients, and whether we actually need a certain kind of ingredient for cooking or a different kind of a similar family of an ingredient. We should all know that. I will dust this with my magic masala, which is some mint and coriander. I personally love it. Mint and fennel. Just a little dust of this. The sauce we have made. Well preserved in the fridge. We can hold it for 2 days. It's easy. It's. I don't want to put the sauce on the top to spoil the texture, the crispiness of the kebabs. So I'm gonna just put sauce all around. I've told you guys I have a whole lot of basil at my home. I'm gonna use basil. If you guys want to use mint, you want to use a parsley, it's all your choice. That's the kebab. It's the kebabs. That's a tabbouleh. And have whole bowl with me. I'll enjoy the whole evening today. And the sauce all around. And the fresh basil to give that freshness, to give that richness, to give that summery feel to the whole recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And open to questions now. Anything that you would love to answer, anything you want to ask, you can ask. I would love to answer that. Thank you so much. Yes, and I've told you all the substitutes to it. We can do beets, we can do any summer vegetables. We can do spinach, we can do any healthy vegetable in the forms of kebab that you would love to have. We can only do potatoes as well. We can just do potatoes. We can chop spring onions to it, nice and crispy, and that we can do just that kebabs. Sure, I will send the measurements to you. Well, recipe we'll post it, but I can, just it's very simple for kebabs. We used beetroots, mashed potatoes, grated beetroots, cook them together, add spices to it, add ginger and chilies to it, as much as you wish to add, and take the mixture off. Just add some cornflakes to it if you want to have that crunch of the cornflakes to it. Mix it all together, and then I don't want to break the kebabs, but there is somebody's asking to break the kebabs and show. Okay, fine, we'll see. And this is the kebab recipe. Just pan fry it, sprinkle with some masalas, which is jeera, this is cumin, and saunf, which is fennel, some black pepper, which is roasted, and then just sprinkle it around. For the tabbouleh, we've used everywhere the beetroot was boiled. On the kebabs, it's grated. In the tabbouleh, it's diced. For the sauce, it's puree. So just imagine just 4 to 5 beetroots. If you boil, you can make so much out of it. So this is the tabbouleh. It's dalia. You can use couscous. You can use any millets. You can use anything that you wish to add to it. Add chopped beetroots to it, chopped cucumber to it, and whole lot of herbs, whatever is possible for you. I have added basil, parsley, mint, coriander, everything to it. Add lemon juice, olive oil, salt and pepper. And that's the fresh tabbouleh, which is very summery. And for the sauce, the same beetroot you boil, I used the peels and the trimmings of the beetroot, boiled it a little more, pureed it, seasoned it, and used as a puree. And after the puree, I added to it mustard. For the vegans, I had made a cashew cream. And add cashew cream, just blend it well. And that's the whole dressing all around. So it's all pink. And that's the monochromatic cuisine is all about. Monochromatic cuisine is one dish just has one color. Except this basil, which I've added, there's just one color to it. Sure, we'll have some more vegan recipes. Thank you guys. And yes, indeed it's a blood booster. This is the plant-based, yes. It is 100% plant-based recipe. It is non-processed. Except cornflakes to it, I have not done any processed ingredients into it. So it would be 100% plant-based recipe. Gluten-free? Yes, you're right. I have not added gluten to it. I have just cornflakes to it. So yeah, it is vegan, it is veggie, of course. It is gluten-free, it is plant-based. All the wellness to it. It is summary. Wait guys, so I'll sign off now. And thank you Easy Diners, and thank you all to join in this streaming of the recipe. And you can follow me for some more cooking tips. You can follow me for some random cooking recipes, some tips to kind of make some healthy, easy food. And as I said, I would love to answer all those queries as much as I can. And my personal favorite is a veggie cuisine or a vegan cuisine. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you.